Hello everyone, that's streamer 1993 here, back with more Shining Force, the Legacy of Great Intention stream number 6. So, this is probably the last time you're going to see me in this environment, in this house I'm in, because we are currently moving for those who weren't watching Root, which I now use in place of Discord, or didn't see my other channel, because I was a little short to that as well. Because we're just moving, and there's a lot of stuff involved. We don't have internet over there yet. We have electricity, no internet, and obviously you can't stream without internet, so that's obviously something we're going to have to deal with. So, during the last fight, we made our way through probably 2 of the hardest battles of that chapter, well, there's only like 2 or 3 or 4 in the entire chapter. But then we made our way here. We ended up getting Balberry and Ammon. And right now we have Balberry in our party. I do have to level up a few my characters here, but luckily Balberry's already level 5, so we don't have to really level up too much. But essentially what we gotta do now is we head out, I believe it's over this way. And we can head to the quarry. We need to go to the quarry to rescue the men, and we also need to get an item called the Lunar Stone. Master, we have found it. The laser eye at last. It's the end of that cursed Shining Force. Where are those men from Bustoke? They are no further use to us. Gort, intruders. What? The Shining Force? Stop that. We must have time to remove the laser eye. Alright, so now we got some more enemies here we have to deal with. Newer ones, I should say. So you guys know about the skeletons. They, I don't think the skeletons yet. They're not different from the regular ones. We have the Dark Elves, which are basically just like snipers, but they have better stats, and they have the steel arrow equipped rather than the wooden arrow. Master Mages are still thing. Now we have, these are probably some of the more annoying enemies in the game. We have the Dark Priest. They have a 21 attack, 9 defense, 16 HP, 25 MP, 5 move, 10 agility, magic heal level 1, and the power staff equipped. I forgot to go over Dark Elf stats too. Dark Elf has 16 HP, 26 attack, 9 defense, 6 move, 10 agility, no MP, and a steel arrow equipped, and they can attack 2 spaces away. The Priest, even with the power staffs, aren't actually that crazy powerful. And then we come down here, we have an enemy you won't see a lot of, but this is called a Lizard Man. It's a middle-class equipped that has 20 HP, no MP, 24 attack, 12 defense, 6 move, 12 agility. And the last one we have, he's a boss in this chapter, but he's the Master Mage. He has the Holy Staff equipped, which is something you can get later in the game for your healers and your mages, actually, I believe. 22 HP, 32 MP, 33 attack, 13 defense, 5 move, 26 agility with magic 2, with freeze level 2. So this is a battle where you have to beat the main boss in order to win this. So give me one sec here, guys. I'm gonna see if this actually works this time. I'm not gonna guarantee it, but I'm trying to get my my connection to work here. If this doesn't work the way I want it to, I'm going to find another way to do it. But I'm gonna try one time doing it this way. Basically, I'm going to link both my YouTube channel that I put these VODs on, and another channel which it's supposed to be it's supposed to be my Root app, but I'm going to see if it goes through, because normally it doesn't go through. Okay, so that's interesting. So that is the link to my Root. Root is basically like Discord. I'm totally surprised it came through, because when I do it on my computer, it doesn't let me paste and copy it. But that is a link to it, and unlike Discord, you can set up your links so they don't expire to that as a permanent link. You don't have to worry about going anywhere else to find a different one. And this is the VOD channel that I use to store these VODs on. Now, the last, the VOD, stream number 4, this is stream 6, did not properly get uploaded, and I apologize for that. But that's basically all I have to say. I'm surprised it went through. So, luckily, since Root has a mobile app as well as a desktop app, it was actually very easy for us to do that. So, I think all of our characters are level 6, with the exception of a few being level 7, or possibly, I think Tao's level 8. Yeah. And Bauer being level 5. So we have a couple options here when we decide what we want to go after. Technically, you could win this battle very easily if you really take with the Master Mage, because Balberry is a very special case. We can actually go and just pump out the Master Mage and basically just end the battle right there. However, we can't really do that per se, so we're going to move Balberry here. He can go over walls and stuff, making him very, very useful for terrain fighting. Oh, Ken's level 8 as well, so we're going to move level 6 up here. Oh, Henry's level 8 too. That's right, because the last battle we did, we couldn't properly level because of everything that was going on. Luckily, I think leveling this game is not really... It's more tedious, but it's also kind of fun. Like, especially if you want to do the same battle over and over again. Some battles are really fun. Like, sometimes I'll even save games, separate save files, just so I can redo bosses, because some bosses are really cool to fight, too. Here come the skeletons. The skeletons are kind of an afterthought at this point. I don't think they're going to do much damage to anybody. But, let's see. Oops. Okay, 2 to me. That was not expecting. So, later in the game, some enemies have what they have called Protect Ring, or Shield Ring. This ring cannot be obtained, but it's supposed to basically boost... It's supposed to boost power or defense of whoever equips it. And we also have the power suit for Arthur and everybody now, so these spears are going to do a lot of damage. Okay, maybe not to a skeleton, but it's going to do some damage to a skeleton. Also, probably putting Arthur that far ahead probably was not a smart idea. Well, because we get everyone to level 8, we can pretty much use a lot of our party here, so I'm not too worried about that. Gordon also has the Great Axe equipped, which is going to do more damage to the skeleton, but still not a crazy amount. But still 9 experience per hit's not bad, plus probably about 30 to 40 experience when you kill one isn't bad either. So he's going to go after Arthur. Arthur's probably going to take a lot of damage from that. Arthur would probably have... Oh. Alright. He got a stunning attack on me, so Arthur died in one fucking shot. Alright. So, I can't say I was expecting a stunning attack to happen. I guess that's pretty much how the stream's going to end up now that I got unlucky once. It's going to keep happening over and over again. So we're going to take out these 2 skeletons here, I think. And we're going to reset so we can get Arthur back in the fray. So you can see that Diane does 3, but I still like her stats better. So, and I think that Diane overall has better stats as well. I will say when archers get promoted, they are a lot more useful. I think certain weapons let them attack from 3 spaces away, which is a hell of a difference than 2 spaces away. Might as well be playing tricks. I mean, I thought I saw another message pop up on my stream chat, but I'm either out of it, or I wasn't paying, or I saw the same message twice. Gong attacks. Gong inflicts a massive 1 point of damage, but Gong's level did increase to 7. That will increase by 1. Okay, that's alright, I guess. Also, I think I mentioned this before, but you always will do 1 damage to whoever you're fighting, even if your attack is like 1 and their defense is 90. You'll never hit an attack where it's going to just miss because... It's a lot like how Pokemon operates. Okay, we're not going to use Ken, but we're going to put him... Okay, so now we got Gort. I think Gort can put down the skeleton here. Already experience Gong level increased to 7, defense increased by 1. Sorry, so we got some small increases as well, but we can still make it work. So I'm actually going to have Babberry attack this Dark Elf here. He has the Metal Sword equipped, and he has a Power Ring, so it should do some damage. 9 damage to the Dark Elf. Oh, he's going to hit him twice. Alright, cool. That's nice. Babberry gets 40 experience, 160 points. That's going to be Babberry's whole thing while I'm on with the rest of the crew. I'm going to just have him go after the Dark Elf so he keeps doing that much damage. You hit him with a Steel Arrow, I can't imagine them doing much damage to him. Assuming they can even hit him at all. The Birdmen, like I said, are low attack and mid attack and defense. But their agility is high, which means the higher agility is the more chance you have of landing another attack. So I'm at my level 6s now. But once I kill these skeletons and I kill another Dark Elf, I think I'm just gonna reset the battle because I need to get Arthur back from the Great Beyond anyway. So Max. So, we have a slight problem with Max. Max is doing 2 points of damage. That's not a lot. So, I think I'm going to have to... If I still have a power potion, I think I'm going to use it on him. But, essentially, Max doesn't really get another good weapon until he gets promoted. So, if situation comes to worse, when a character gets promoted, I don't know if I mentioned this before, character promoted, his stats do increase? Decrease, my bad. But... he gets more, the chance that he gets higher stats per shot will be fine. But considering I don't want to, well, I don't want to say this. If I promote a character, I'm going to have to grind them off screen. And I kind of want to evolve my characters at once. So I don't really, I think what I'm going to do is get everyone to level 10, and then I'm going to promote everybody. Normally, if I was doing a regular playthrough, I would, if I was doing my second playthrough in this channel, I would do... for experience, 140 coins. I would do like one playthrough where I've leveled them at 10, and one playthrough where I've leveled them at 20. But however, since I'm more like showing you what I do know, I always promote my characters at level 10, level 15 at the latest. So I'm actually going to. Okay, so Dark Elf's gonna. See, that's another thing about the Dark Elves. I don't understand. They're supposed to go to that position, but they seem to ignore any enemies that come toward its way. So we're gonna take out that other. Diane Ken should be healed now. I could probably use Gong to heal her or someone else. And they seem to run away, but they don't seem to take consideration that enemies are around them. That they'll run away before they attack, which I guess is better designed than some of the other characters handle. But, alright, so we're going to use... No, we don't want to use Gong. We want to use Low, because Low's low on... needs more experience. I mean, not low on... I was going to say low on health, but he's not low on health. If I would have had the time, I would have leveled up in between, but then again we lose a little bit of the of what the enemy says, because we go over that. We don't go over what they actually say if I start the battle, because they only say it once, I believe. Alright, Bowser will increase to 6. Defense will increase by 1. Maximum hit points increase by 4. Okay, a 4-point increase to HP. That's really good, actually. So when I say we're getting, when we promote, we're getting level increases, I'm talking massive. We're talking 7 to 10 points at some points during each level up. And that makes it very, very, very convincing to level them up, or promote them as soon as you get to level 10. But there's also a drawback. Like I said, I think you lose 25% of your stats. So, you gotta be careful. Like, you wanna evolve them when you know the next battle is going to be kind of easy. Alright, we have max now, so we're going to actually egress out of here. It should take us back to the Friar, yes. Okay, it's not a permanent death run, otherwise I would not be using Arthur at all because of how low his HP is. Definitely, if they wouldn't have got Stunning Attack, Arthur would not have died there. He might have taken maybe the most, like, 4 or 5 damage, because I do use defense potions on him. So back to what I was going to say. I'm going to save because I leveled up for my characters. But Max, the next sword that he gets, he can't actually equip unless he's promoted, meaning Max becomes less and less powerful. However, I will say that Max probably has the best stats in the game, but you need to really work on him. So I think I'm going to level up each character. I'm going to level up all my characters when they all hit level 10, which is probably going to be a few battles from now. That's not going to be this battle, but Tao and Andrew and a couple other ones are very close. See how there's no extra dialogue when you come back in? That's because of the way the game designed. So if I was to come in off screen, you guys wouldn't know what the enemy said because they already said it. So we're going to move everyone down here. Except take out the skeletons is probably the best way to do this, and the archers. The only reason I say that is because they're very close, and that means I don't have to travel halfway across the map, then reset again for it to work. But like I said, Max is barely doing 2 damage to these skeletons. And that's not good, especially considering we don't get any better weapons for him. So we're going to move May here. Just to give you a general idea, May's only doing 3, and she's pretty powerful herself, so... The thing that really slows the map down is the map's actually decently big. So you have to be careful here. There's also an item we can get here that not a lot of people know about. I have to find the damn thing. But this battle, and I believe the next battle, you can get 2 items that really don't do much of anything. But they change an appearance of 2 of the overworld, the sprites, not battle sprites, the other sprites of the characters themselves. While they're in battle, I believe. It only works when they're in battle. May suffers 2 points of damage. Okay, they're only doing 2 damage to May, which I feel like they should be doing more, less damage, because I got a feeling we kind of outranked the skeletons already, but... Alright, so now we got Arthur here, so we're going to move Arthur here, and we're going to attempt not to die this time. Do 3 damage to the skeleton. Skeletons would be more dangerous if they had some kind of magic, but they don't. So they only be able to attack one enemy kind of limits what they can do in this battle, which is very helpful. The priests are just annoying because they can heal. That's basically all they're really good for. Because later in the game, if you face these things, they're going to do like maybe 1 to 2 damage to you. Alright. Dan can get in there and hit the one skeleton with an arrow for a little bit of damage. 3 damage, 9 experience. Get Balberry in there and deal with this elf again. Might not get a huge damage increase because he didn't get much experience from the... He didn't get a lot of... He got a defense increase and a 4-point HP increase, but for a Birdman, that's actually pretty good. Because, you know, you gotta... If you can't rely on attack or defense, you gotta rely on agility and HP in that situation. You gotta rely on the stats that you aren't really good at, or the stats you're better at than you are the ones you're not better at. Kind of how Pokemon works. So that's how a lot of RPGs work. Like, if you have a mage that casts magic, you don't focus on attack damage for them, because that just wouldn't make any sense. So we're actually gonna have Low just heal. I think someone took damage. Who took damage? I think May took damage. I think someone has taken damage, actually. I can't really do any damage to the Skeletons because they're pretty much surrounded. Or any more damage, I should say. That should put down the Skeleton. That should maybe get May to the next level. 40 experience, 140 coins. May's level increased to 7. Attack will increase by... Ooh, that's a good increase for her. Defense will increase by 1. Speed increased by 1. Okay, that's really good. Usually May gets a lot of defense points. Having +3 attack, that's going to help us a lot. Have Arthur attack the Skeleton since we've done no damage to him this entire battle. Not to this Skeleton, anyway. 3 points of damage to the Skeleton. Arthur gains 9 experience points. Skeleton's going after Arthur now. I guess that must sense he had low defense. Really? Again? It did 13 directly. Oh my god. This game is not liking Arthur at all. That's twice that's happened. Back to back as well. That's crazy bad luck. One thing is, they don't do that. Like, see, I'm only doing 1 damage with Max, and that's not anywhere near with the damage I need to deal. Alright, so now once we get Max's next turn here, I gotta back out yet again. Which is alright, because I gotta level up my characters anyway, but it gets a little annoying when it happens so many times in a row. We're gonna have Gong hit the Skeleton for whatever damage he can do. Probably like 2 or 3, or he's just gonna evade it. Also, I mentioned the defense ring before. Some enemies later in the game will get like a medical herb randomly, just to keep their HP high because they're kind of low grade for the battle. Okay, so we got 160 coins. There's another couple of things there for Balberry. I'm not really sure to pronounce his name because, like I said, there's probably a way to pronounce it if I looked hard enough, like on the web or whatever. But you know, a lot of these names are pretty easy to say, so it's not that big of a thing. Okay, so I think Low can deal some damage to this Skeleton with its staff. I hit you with staff. 3 damage, okay. And that just proves that Low's doing more damage than Max is, which is kind of scary when you think about it. Actually, I think he's doing as much damage as Gong is. And Gong doesn't have weapons, so I guess that makes sense, but still. And that's going to go after Max, because Max is there. 8 damage. At least I didn't go for a double on him. They could have. Alright, now we've got Max. We're going to use Aggress again. Luckily, we're getting coins from this shit. Otherwise, this would be a detriment to us. But this is definitely one of the issues of having Arthur on your team. That's why I don't really use him a lot. But also there is a little thing here. Is that no character can be promoted. If you go to promote, he'll actually say no character is promoted. And his dialogue will change if there is someone to promote, but you don't even know who it is. He says no one earned a promotion. So, like, in addition to stats changing and getting more stats to increase, that will increase. And weapons and shit, there's also appearance changes and a couple other things that happen. Also, like, for example, let's say that I go to equip a character with a Rose Star weapon later on, they're still not promoted, they can't really equip that weapon, which is a detriment, but if you have a promoted thing and you want to equip, let's say, a short sword, I believe you can equip that weapon to that character even though they're promoted. So it's kind of like it's more like a one-way street in that situation. Arthur's here. Although they're probably gonna raptor him and kill him again, but, you know, deal what you gotta deal with. Okay. I forgot how fast that was, so I'm gonna not use that too often. Kinda wish I could put a trigger on my controller for that. Go after Max. Okay, he got stunning attack, but he's still there. And they can't target him again, even though they're gonna line up behind him. That's another thing entirely. They're going after one character, and there's a character right next to them. They won't actually, they'll line up behind that one character. And that's another thing you can kind of exploit. If you use Max a lot, you can kind of like line them up for example, they're in the position for, right now for Taudi's Blaze level 2 to deal serious damage to both of them, but I'm not doing that. So I'm going to Max attack even though he's not going to do shit for damage. Once Bellberry hits another level, I think I'm going to actually re-equip the Power Ring to Max and give the Speed Ring to Bellberry instead, because Bellberry could benefit more from the extra agility. Place on experience for Bellberry. Bellberry goes to level 7. Attack level increased by 1. That's level increased by 1. Okay, that's alright, I guess. Let me have a look at their difference in their attack stats. So Bellberry has 23 attack with the ring equipped. Without it, his attack would be 19. And Max has 19. So I think, considering Bellberry's not going to go, I'm not going to put him against armored enemies like I'm doing with Max. I'm going to say that I'm probably better off giving that to Max, and then giving Bellberry the Speed Ring will increase agility, making it easier for him to land double hits and easier to evade. I would dare say probably HP and agility are probably the two best stats in this game, indirectly. But a lot of people think it's... I think defense is important too. Like, I think attack you can kind of deal with in any situation, but, you know, everything else kind of maybe not. 5 damage to skeleton, Dan gains 16 on that. I gotta get Max healed, by the way. Otherwise he's gonna die the next time the skeleton gets a turn. Unfortunately, I don't have anyone I think can get close enough to Max to do that. Yeah, Max is dead. Alright. So we're gonna experience what happens when Max dies. Max can fight no longer. So what's gonna happen is Max has been defeated, and it's gonna kick me back to the thing here. Luckily, the game doesn't end. And this game, it doesn't record how many times you lost, but in Shining Force 2, they actually do. Also, my main character does not need to be raised at all. And actually, I forgot about that too. Since Max died, I don't have to raise Arthur, which I think is kind of a weird thing. But, yeah, that happens. So we're definitely going to have to mess with how everyone is messed. So we're going to exchange Max's Power Ring for Bellberry's, or vice versa. We're going to, whoops, no, not that. We're going to exchange the rings between the two of them. Only because Max needs to do more damage, because he can't, you know, he needs to be able to do it since he's the main character. So we're going to equip Max with the Power Ring. This is going to be for now, by the way. We're probably going to equip the Bellberry with something better later. But we're also going to equip Bellberry with the ring, which is giving him 16 agility, which I believe gives him the most agility we have of everybody in our current party, maybe except, well, I say current party, but I think maybe Hans would have had more. Hans would be a lot better if his agility went up like by 2s or 3s. My problem with Hans is that he always, I feel like he only ever gets 1 to 2 point increases. Like, he never gets an explosive amount. Well, at least not enough to make a difference. Alright, we're gonna get Ken down here. We need someone to take some of these shots. I wonder how much damage Ken can do to these things. 7, alright. Nice job, Ken. I just need someone to take a few blows while we come down here. I don't want to put Max directly in danger again, because that's how I died last time. May can get some experience too, I guess. May just got a 3-point increase. It's probably gonna do 5 damage. Damn, I'm good. Alright, 50 or 10 experience points. I will say it's actually harder to level in Shining Force 2. Only reason being because your characters can counterattack, which can really screw with you if you're trying to level one character but you're not trying to kill an enemy. Arthur can't get close enough, unfortunately, to deal any damage, but we're still fine. They're going to their May. May, I believe, is going to take like 1 damage now.
2 still. I could sworn she got a 1-point defense increase. Maybe it's just the RNG luck. Maybe at one time it's going to do 1 or 2. You can't rely on that, by the way. If your character's 1 HP left and your attack and defense of you and the enemy is pretty similar, you can't guarantee they're going to do 1 damage. They could do 2. RNG is bullshit. Double attacks does 8. Oops. Hang on, guys. It's been a minute since I forgot that. My power saver's on. That means I got to plug my shit back in. There we go. Back to normal. Alright, Diane can now put the skeleton down with 5 points of damage. Or 3. That works. Diane gets 40 experience, 140 coins. I'm surprised she didn't level up. She's probably like 2 experience away from leveling up. Or at the most 5. Damn, I said 2 right. I am way too good at predicting that shit. Like, almost like an unhuman level. Deadly attack clicks 10. We're just gonna move Ken over here. We don't need to have him attack. Don't need Tao to move. Gong could probably get some experience from this. Not much, but some. Actually, I think I want Arthur to put him down, but you know, Gong's doing only 1 damage too. Like I said, I could use a lot of power rings in this game, but we only get 1 the entire game, so we don't really have that option. Another option we could do if we need to deal a massive amount of damage, we could use the power ring and then just repair it after every battle. But considering we're using multiple allies here, I don't think that's really necessary. This is gonna do 3 damage to him, maybe 4. Nope. Ha. Turn out fair play, 10 points damage. So he's getting hit with criticals all day, but then he finally got one himself. Arthur level increased to 7. Okay, Arthur didn't get a single increase. That's not good. Especially when Arthur is so low on stats as it is. I kind of was hoping for at least a magic increase. I have Balberry hopefully put down this Dark Elf. Might only do 7. Nope. Got his, damn, getting deadly and stunning attacks all over the place here. Balberry gets 40 experience, 160 coins. Flyers are also not good with a lot enemies with high defense. I think your best bet with Flyers is just take out the mages because they have low defense, and like other enemies that have low defense, like going against skeletons, other enemies like that, it just won't work. Interesting fact too, if you don't want to use Aggress for whatever reason, you can also, how would I say this? You can also kind of like head to the entrance of where you entered, and it might ask if you want to retreat from this battle. This won't take you back to the Freyr, but it will take you just outside the map. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. Alright. That was not what I meant. I meant the wrong button there. That's what I do when I want to end the game. So, for some reason, I don't understand why specifically, but when you exit this game, for whatever reason, when you get to the title screen, for some reason, you can't seem to really exit easily. Good thing is I saved, at least. Because they must only pop up if you already saved. So, it's not a big deal to get that back. Another option, this might be an option that I choose in terms of how to level up a character, or when to promote a character. My bad. It's when I get to an item or a weapon I can't use because the character can't. Because I pretty much know what every weapon in the game the character can't equip. Because I've recruited every character in this game once before. Like for example, Max will let you get access to the Steel Sword. I believe that's next chapter. And that's what I'm going to promote him, because then that's the only, because he can't equip it otherwise. We're going to attack the skeleton here with May's Power Sphere. May against 10. I also got to reset the speed because I end up Xing out of the game. But with Max's attack stat higher now, we probably can deal some more damage to these skeletons, which I'm not too concerned about in that situation. just move everyone down here. As far down as I can, because it just makes it easier for everyone to be able to get around these guys and move around if we have to in order to make space to let the 6s and 7s to deal enough damage to knock these guys down. Also, I'm not really sure why. It might be because she's the daughter of Arios, but I seem really like going after May 2 for some reason. I'm not really sure why, but that might be a reason. Or maybe it's because May has low HP. Like, they seem like going after Arthur. To me, is the reason they go after enemies that have low HP instead of targeting mages because they have low HP. They just target anyone who has low HP. Low maximum HP, I mean. Maybe just HP in general. Sometimes they go after enemies, allies that are weak on HP at the moment. 9 damage, Dark Elf, while bringing 27 experience points. Diane should be able to deal some damage to this other skeleton. I should give Diane an experience to level up. Diane gets 9 experience points. Diane's level increased to 7. That's level increased by 2. That's already better than what Hans normally gets. I think Diane gets a naturally high amount of defense for being an archer, which is interesting when you think about it. I'm going to move May back here and attack this skeleton. I want him to take out the other skeleton because that gives her more experience points. We don't need her to get too many more experience points. They are getting 10 per hit. Yeah, when I first started playing, I thought I could take Belbury and Ammon and just go destroy that Dark Sage or whatever, you get them close together like that and they start targeting them badly. Got Arthur here. I should be able to put this... Nope. I thought he had less HP than that. Arthur's going to do some damage, though. 5. I can get low in there, deal some damage with his staff. 9 experience for low. I should be able to put the skeleton down now with the power ring equipped. Experience points on the skeleton. Skeleton is defeated, 40 experience, 140 coins. Max level increased to 7. Attack level increased by 3. Speed increased by 1. Maximum hit points increased by 2. Maximum magic points increased by 1. So interesting fact, Max in the character in this game does not get an actual other magic spell, even though his MP may randomly increase. I'm not really sure why they would increase the MP when he doesn't get any other magic. Because the Egress will always take 8 MP to use. And once you use it, the battle's automatically over, so I'm guessing that was just a small insight on their part, or maybe they were planning on giving him another spell. Or whatever the reason is, it's still pretty weird detail. So I believe the main character in Shining Force 2 can actually learn a spell. 9 damage to low, jeez. I should be able to get enough experience off this Dark Elf to get Belbury to level 8. Nope, still only did 6. 18, oh, he did get enough. Level increased to 8. Speed increased by 1. Okay, so you got the Hans treatment there. But now Belbury is level 8, so now we can stop leveling him up. Leave Ken there. Gong needs to heal low. Gong gets 13 experience points for that. Max level 7, I can't get anywhere near it anyway to deal any damage, so we're going to leave him. Move Van Tau down 1 space. Diane should be able to do damage to put the skeleton down. Boink. Alright, we're getting there with the characters now. I think I'm going to keep moving forward, actually, and I'm starting to get bored of killing just those 2 skeletons over and over again. So we're just going to move on. I'll do this for the entire battle, actually, just because it's already been 34 minutes in and we haven't beaten a single battle yet. So I think I'm just going to press on, let the level 7s and 6s just deal damage to everyone else, all the 8s hang back. Maybe deal a little extra damage if they need to. They can actually finish off this Dark Elf here, since she has the range. That should probably
almost one shot, I would think. 11. Okay, maybe not as close as I thought. 40 experience, 160 coins. So there's a little choke point here. Over here, I'll show you guys. Where they can they'll put like the mage here and like put the other priest here. Essentially, so if you don't kill the mage quick enough, the priest will heal it. Now the priest will always prioritize themselves over healing themselves over their enemies. So if they're low on HP, they'll heal themselves instead of their allies, which you can exploit a little bit because that means you can just damage them, let them walk off, and have them waste a turn healing themselves while you deal with the other characters. But some priests don't move. Also, for the enemy, they really don't have a lot of healing characters per se, but they do have like the Dark Priest. I think they have like a Dark Monk and a couple other ones. But let's be careful about that archer right there, because we're getting close to it, and because of its range, it can attack us from that spot away. But since we have Diane and a couple other enemy allies here, we can actually deal some damage to that Dark Elf. 9 damage to the Dark Elf. Arthur gets 27 experience points. Move Balboa up here. I'm also going to get someone in position to heal Arthur, because he's going to take at least one shot from the archer. Max here. Careful not to move him too close, because the archer will just target Max instead. He isn't going to let the Arthur. Let's see how much damage he does. Damn! He almost one-shotted him. Alright, we gotta get lower Gong up there and heal him now. Gong can't get close enough, so it's probably gonna have to be low. With Diane there. So I'm gonna have May deal some damage to this Dark Mage. And see, I don't think she's gonna be enough damage to one-shot it, but so close. 13. May's level increased to 8. Speed increased by 1. Okay, there's another low increase. Okay, Arthur. As long as Arthur's attack connects, this Dark Elf is dead. Oh, we got Stunning Attack. A deadly for 18. Too bad he couldn't get it the first time. 40 experience, 160 coins. Alright, we definitely heal Arthur after all that. After that little confrontation. The only good thing about Arthur having low HP is he doesn't take much to heal. Also, I believe when Arthur gets enough MP, I believe he automatically learns Blaze. So, 9 minutes on Dark Mage, 34 experience, 170 coins. So Dark Mage is down. That was the bulk of our problem here. We still got to deal with the Priest, but I think we should be all right. I don't think he's gonna do much damage to Gore. I think Gore has the highest defense of everyone in my party, or maybe not. 5 is actually more than I was expecting. Might be May. Does May have... Are they similar in defense? Right next to each other should be easy to check. 17. 15. Really? Okay. Move Balboa over here. Guess we need to get another shot in there. Or attack the skeleton. Although that priest will probably heal it. 12 experience. My mage is in a little bit closer. Gong can't get close enough to do anything. Diane can't get close enough to deal some damage to that skeleton, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. 5. 10 experience points for Diane. Yeah, they're probably going to heal the skeleton before I can kill it. Yeah, I can't get close enough. Arthur could, but would then be blocking that spot. I probably made a mistake putting Diane there. But the good news is that the Dark Priest is going to focus on that. Dark Priest also has a massive amount of MP, so it would take a long time. Probably close to 10 or 8 to 9 healing spells for it to run out of MP. Interesting fact, too, is when you face the variations of these enemies down the line... I'm going to move Gord out of there. For some reason, even if they don't need to heal themselves fully... Like, for example, let's say they lost 3 HP. If they have heal level 3, for example, they'll usually heal level 3 rather than level 1. I'm guessing that's just a design flaw, because I can't imagine why else they would do that. By the way, you can, if you do this right, you actually can farm a lot of experience points from the skeleton here because the Dark Priest keep healing it and you keep dealing damage to it. I should not have put low there. Okay, 10. I was expecting a stunning attack. I gotta get Diane out of there too. That was a bad spot for me to put her. I can do some damage to this priest though. See, I don't remember. I think he has a decent amount of defense. About the same as the archer does. That's weird. I thought I heard my phone go off. Diane, go after the skeleton. Or May, my bad, May go after skeleton. Oh, May actually put him down. Nice. Oh, that's going to get her quite a bit of experience. Okay, so that takes care of a problem. Okay, they're going to Valkyrie now. Dark Priest attacks. Valkyrie suffers 7. Diane should be able to do enough damage to put this priest down. Damn it. Alright. Okay, he's healing himself. Okay, Max in there to deal some damage now. Now we're doing a bunch of damage. It's got a 3-point attack increase, I think, which is substantial. Have Ken go after this Dark Priest here. I should do about 10. Oh shit, I wasn't even close. 15. Well, he needs to go to the side here and heal himself. Can't afford to lose a healer in this situation, because that final boss can be a pain in the ass. I might think to use Tao and Anri in that situation, because the way they line up, I kind of have to. Okay. Those level increased to 7. Attack level increased by 1. Defense level increased by 1. Speed increased by 1. Medicine level increased by 2. Now heal became level 2. Okay, so level 2 is a lot like heal level 1. I think he heals like maybe 1 or 2 more health. And you can use it from 2 spaces away, but it costs 5 MP instead of 3, I believe. I think Arthur should be able to put down this priest here. Nope, I missed. I'm having a really good time hitting those sumbitches. Alright, let's see if Luke can hit him. Luke can. 10 damage. 3 experience, 125 coins. Move Beverly to the side here. You don't need to be in there. The priest is going to run to one side and heal itself, which is going to heal it for most of its HP left. 14. Which is actually a will on the high end. But I can have Gong hit this priest for another probably like 7, 6. 12 experience on Gong. Yeah, if you definitely divvy up your attacks between a priest and something else, you definitely have an issue with it just constantly healing itself. I can get Diane close enough to hit this priest with an arrow, which is hopefully should hit the connect. And it's enough to put it down. 10 points of damage. 40 experience, 125 coins. Okay, so now we gotta deal with the skeleton and the priest. However, I don't think they move a lot, so we have a slight advantage in that situation. We have mass attack the priest for 12. We have our experience on max. Arthur can put the priest down, assuming he can connect. And the priest is down. 40 experience, 125 points. Arthur will increase to 8. Speed increased by 1. Okay. Arthur's not doing too good on the stat increases. Luke attacks. 6 points of damage on the skeleton. 12 experience. Lowe's gonna come and hit the skeleton. Since the attack 1 up by 1, it might actually do some damage to him. 4. 8 experience. Barbarian's gonna move up a little bit. So we're Tao and Anri. Gong has an opportunity to smash the skeleton for a little bit here, which is probably gonna do like 2 or 3. 1, alright. Terrain definitely does
the land effect definitely does a lot sometimes in certain situations. In terms of defense decrease, or increase, or attack decrease, however you want to talk about it like that. Alright, they should get dying to level 8. 5 points of damage, skeleton defeated, dying 40 experience, 140 coins. Then we'll increase to 8. Speed increased by 1. Maximum weapons increased by 1. Alright, skeleton's dead. Slowly moving our way up. Earth's gonna come down here. Loot's gonna come over to the skeleton, but not get crazy close to him because we gotta be careful about the mage directly behind him. Which, if we line up in a certain formation, he can just hit us with a Blaze level 2 spell, which will definitely dampen our day. Has to come around here. Maybe come down here. Diane's gonna walk right there. Matt's gonna come right here. Matt's gonna deal some damage to the skeleton and stay. Well, he won't be out of range, but he'll be out of the range of... Oh, he actually got 2 attacks and of the Dark Mage hitting 2 characters. 40 experience, 140 coins. Alright, so the skeleton's taken care of. I always gotta deal with the mage here. I don't want to get Arthur too close to that. Move Ken here. Move low right there. Move Gong down. Move Anri and Tao down. Gort is within range to put this hurting on this Dark Mage. 10. 22 experience. Gort hits level 8. Attack level increased by 1. Speed increased by 1. Getting a lot of 1s today. Alright, Balber is going to be the one to take down this mage, because no one else... I just want to make sure I get rid of the mage before he starts really weighing on my party here. 30 experience, 170 coins. Okay, so this dimension down here, they actually stay a lot in. And there's also very limited space, so I have to be careful. Essentially, the Lizard Man is probably the Lizard Man in the dark. I think is that a Dark Mage? Is that, or what's it called? Master Mage. Is they're both the most terrifying things here, but the Dark Priest can also be a problem. So essentially, because of the way these guys are set up, we're gonna want to take a full force in there. We're gonna want to deal with everything we got to deal with. And then we basically got to take out the Master Mage as quickly as possible. However, Arthur's not really going to be a good help here because that freeze is a very powerful spell. So I might go after Max if I do that, but we got to do something here. Surprisingly, they're not going after him. I'll put Balber right here. So I'm actually going to try to take out this priest here. This is where we got to get serious. We can't worry about the whole leveling thing. Or Main's just going to miss the entire shot. That works, I guess. Move Diane right about there. Move Ken down here. Move low here. So we're going to him to start attacking me yet. Let's not get that close. Alright, Gort, can you do something to this thing? 13. 19 experience for that. Unfortunately, I just set Gort to die. I think May too, because I was not thinking about what I was doing. Yeah, so here comes freeze level 2. That's going to put down Gort. Nope, Gort took 10. And May takes 10 as well. Alright, so I think I got a good shot here. So we're going to move Balber to the spot here that looks like he shouldn't be there, but he can. And we're going to have Balber hit this mage. Okay, for some reason I thought his attack would do a little bit more than that. Alright, so now we actually have a shot here. We're going to move May back here. And we're going to hit him with a spear. For 11. 24 experience for May. Now if I was close enough, I could deal the final blow to that mage. But I'm not. So we're going to take out the priest instead. And that essentially stops the Master Mage from healing. 20 experience, 125 coins. That also opens up a space for someone else to go after. However, the Lizard Man is going to do a massive amount of damage to kill May. Yeah. Well, 5 isn't a lot, but it's enough to, you know,
Always gotta make sacrifice in this game, and that's why permadeath run of this game seems so hard, because I could do permadeath myself, like you can do it, but I feel like doing that on stream would cause a lot of problems. Alright, so now we got Ken here. How much experience does Ken have? 46. Okay, that should be fine. Now if we take out the Master Mage with this shot, the battle's going to immediately end. And of course we missed. But Gort could do enough damage to put him down. Connect, please. Okay. 8 points of damage on Master Mage. Gort gained 40 experience, 850 coins. You think you've won, but you failed. The laser eye is ours now. Master Moonstone lies inside the cavern. Now we've rescued the guy from Bust Oak. And here is the Moonstone. So we need to recruit a powerful ally after a bit here. Now, this room seems to have nothing else, but if we search, I believe it's this wall here. It's this one. Oh no, it's down here, I think. Is it this one? Max there was a Shugo Mizugi, but can't carry it. So we have to make room for that. It's hidden, by the way, so you'll never really see it a lot. You won't ever see it unless you know it's there. But we're gonna move the Orb of Light as well. Someone else. Okay. So this is an interesting item. So we're gonna give this to Tao. Essentially, it's a swimsuit. So, we can't actually equip the item, but giving it to Tao will have an effect later on. See, our allies are still, I'm not really sure if the game just doesn't deload them, but now we can head back to up here-ish. And I gotta figure out who I'm taking out for my new party member, because the new party member is really good. Now we talk to this guy here, he can give the Moonstone. Yes, that's Moonstone. I'll make the Lunar Dew immediately. Here you go, Lunar Dew. That will make a full recovery. Max gets the Lunar Dew. Alright, we got this now. So we could sell it if we're being cynical, but you can see they have the men back now. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be back with my daughter. So now we got the guys back. We can go down here now. And we can externate another Dawa we need to live around. Couldn't that listen to me when he's doing research. So you can see there's a man here and another guy. Talk to him. How don't you figure out how to fly? So we try to talk to him. He won't do anything. But if we search the engine he's working on. What are you doing? Don't touch anything, you meddler. Now we talk to him, he does something else. No doubt, hey, go back and I'll show you my latest invention. Now we come here. They're going to demonstrate his machine. Watch carefully. Here I go. Good luck, Kokochi. Oh, it didn't work this time either. So this whole cutscene actually triggers an event later on that we'll see. But for now, we're going to just leave. And now we can do a couple things here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to head back to the Freyr here. You can see that lady move, so we can now go down that path. We're going to come here, and we're going to raise the two members, I believe, that we lost. Lost May, and I believe we also lost... Was it Gort I lost, or was May the only one? I'm drawing a blank on that one. No, you cannot. Now, if we go to an... We could access this previously, but now we're going to actually do it for a purpose. We're going to walk over here. We talk to this lady here. Please say that I'll ask the alchemist to make Lunar Dew. So we come here, and if we go here, that actually just leads to an observatory. But if we come here, there's this guy again. Boken, I found him behind the mountain. Where am I? So I think he's meant to be a character, like I said previously, but they never really put him in. River's army now is a strange device, a weapon of the ancients. So the laser eye is probably one of the more annoying enemies in the entire game, but luckily there is a way to get around it. And I'll show you guys it, because I'm probably going to have at least enough time to show you at least that before I end my stream. So come down here, let me talk to this girl here. Please save Zao. Do you really want me to open up the prison door? Yes. Please be careful. So now we come in here, there is a guy here. What do you want? Leave me alone, I'll tear you apart. So now if we use the item... Where is it at? Max poured the Lord Dew into Zylo's mouth. Yuck, awful taste, but I'm myself again. Real relief. I can never pay for it done, but I'm going to join the Shining Force. Zylo joins the Shining Force. Zylo is one of the very other allies you can get that doesn't have a weapon, However, his stats are quite good. He also has one of the better animations for attacking in this game. At least I think he does. So he is a Wolfman. And I believe his levels are already quite high. He's level 9, which means he's actually stronger than anyone in my party currently. Like I said, if I have time between my next stream, which is probably not going to be for a while, I'm going to take time to level up my characters during the next screen here. But there's still one more thing we have to do before we move on. Oops, wrong one. It's up here. This one, even though there's no marking for it. So this is going to be a predicament because I want to get Zylo on the team, but I don't want to get rid of like Arthur or anybody because I've never used Arthur before, not a lot. So I'm going to, let's see, we take Zylo, we have to replace somebody. So my initial thought is Diane, but I want to keep both. You know what? I think I'm going to do something I don't think I've ever done in the history of this game. We're going to go to, first of all, we're going to talk to Noah again. We're going to go to status, and we're going to view Luke and Gort's stats. So Gort has 24 attack and 15 defense. And Luke is 23 and 13. Have a look at Zylo's stats. So actually, Zylo is stronger than Luke, so I'm actually going to replace Luke. Now keep in mind when I say I've never replaced Gort or Luke in this game because I think they're really good characters. So we're going to take Zylo, and we're going to replace him with Luke. Alright, now we're going to head to the next battle, but we're not actually going to participate too long because I don't have much time left in my stream. But the next stream is definitely going to be more interesting. So we head up this way. There are 2 battles, actually. I made a mistake. So this first battle is just going to be us trying to get to where we need to go. But they're trying to bark away. They're to attack them Shining Force. Did we not? What if I feel like we're missing a character? By the way, you can see the Tao's thing. Animation now changed, so she's wearing a swimsuit. Now the only thing that really does is change that way it looks. It doesn't look any different in battle. Are we missing somebody? No, I don't think we are. So we're just going to participate just a little bit here, probably just get some experience in. Zylo is pretty good. One ranged attacker, but still pretty good. So now we have the skeletons here. You can see they have a medical herb equipped because I think they're getting outdated. We also have the priest, the skeleton, the lizard man, and the dark elf. However, there are some enemies here that we're going to see a lot of them that are very annoying. Or quite a few of them that are very annoying. It's hard to... Where are they at? Where are you guys at? I know you guys are here. Are they up here? Oh, here they are. They're called Pegasus Knights. They're essentially like knights, but they have higher agility, and they have higher attack and defense, and they're kind of annoying to hit. And up here we have the last few enemies, which are just another lizard man and a priest. All the Pegasus Knights have a very high... They go over certain things, and they can also move very far. I'm trying to get a spot in here where I can get an attack and at least get a little experience from this battle, but I don't think it's going to happen. Also, I will say that it makes the character models look really stupid. The swimsuit does, but it's kind of interesting to see something different, even if it is kind of stupid. So we're going to max attack this thing here. If the skeletons feel they're in danger, they will walk away from the battle and they will use their medical herb. That's getting close to range, but max level increased to 8. Max level increased by 1. So max level increased by 1. Okay, that's alright, I guess. Arthur can get in there, but his doesn't need to level up. Gort's here. Gong needs to level up. I think most of my characters are already level 8, so this isn't going to be... When I have to level my characters, there aren't going to be very many of them, but there's still going to be enough to make a difference. Anyway, I think that's all I can really do here. So I think I'm going to... Next time I get a turn-in with my main character, I'm just going to egress back to the Friar. Or the Friar, however you pronounce that. So he's going to heal... It deals, I believe, 6 to 7 HP when you use one. So it's not crazy good, but, you know. And we're also going to show you... I'm going to show off Zylo's attack here. Basically jumps in the air and attacks the enemy. And he does pretty good damage as well. Also, unlike in... I don't know if they did this in later releases, but in this version of Shining Force... Archers don't actually, in other games, archers are actually weak to arrows. In this game,
far as weak to arrows in this game, they're actually not. I don't know if that was something that implemented afterward, or maybe Shining Force never did that, but that's a Fire Emblem thing. I don't think it's a Shining Force thing. The only thing I suck about this map is that everyone has to move, and the map is quite big. It's the only thing that kind of sucks. Dark Elf, ironically, did not move away to attack. I'm not really sure why. I think the range of enemies in this game are kind of bugged. Not the magic ones, but like the range ones are kind of bugged when they don't seem like they should be doing something, but they really don't. So actually a pretty good prime candidates for actually leveling off of. So we're gonna egress. I think everyone is level 8 or close to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nope, hang on. Hang on a second. Let's redo that. 1, 2. Yeah, only 2 characters need to level up to hit level 8. That's not gonna take me long at all. Anyway, we're gonna save. Make sure no one needs to be revived. Okay. But anyway, I think do it for the stream. Thank everyone for watching. Like I said, next time I see you guys, there should be a change in the background. Because we're going to be moving to a different house. Like I said, I don't know how long it's going to be before I can stream, but I'm going to guess probably not for another... I would say week and a half at the least, and maybe longer at the most. But anyway, that's going to do it for the stream. Thank everyone for watching. This is ThatStreamer1993 signing off. I'll see you guys in the next stream. Until then, take care. Bye-bye.